All right, everybody, this is the website boy from the websiteboy.com. Today we're going to be configuring code blocks so we can start writing some C code, all right? So let's, the first thing that we got to do is we're going to right click on our desktop and we're going to make a new folder. I'm going to call this C project. The reason why I was going to name this C, just like I name all my tutorials, JavaScript, PHP, but I can't name it C since some of you have Windows and we already have a hard drive named C, right? So we already have that in programs. We have in your computer section of your on the Windows machine, you have something called C, right? So I don't want to confuse the computer, but anyway, this is what we're gonna do. So in this folder, we're gonna save all our code blocks code or a C code. So let's go ahead and open code blocks. I'm gonna click it. If you have it somewhere in your desktop, double click it and open it. And I'm waiting for my computer to open code blocks. And it's kind of flashing here. It might be a little, might not like Mac users much. All right, so now we have it opened here, right? I just want to give you a little introduction to code blocks. On the left side here, we have the management panel, and this holds all your projects or your project files when you have them. And we're going to have a couple of them later on. On the right side, you're going to have your code editor. This is where you're going to be writing your code. It's going to be empty. This is not going to be here. This is just a welcome screen. And down here you're gonna have your logs. This is where you're gonna write your code here, and when you build it or you compile it, it's gonna show you if you make any mistakes, or it's gonna show you what's going on down here. All right, so now the first thing that we got to make sure is that we have line numbers. Line numbers is, for some of you that don't know, when you're writing your code, you get little line numbers right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's very useful. Let's say, for example, you make a mistake in your code and you see it in your logs right here, and it tells you on line 16 you have a mistake. So you go back to line 16, you look for it, and then you can go ahead and fix that mistake. But if we don't have line numbers, we don't know where we at on the code. So it's easier to debug or find errors if we have line numbers. So let's go to settings, then editor, and once we find that, then we make sure that we have line number selected, and we do right here. Now I don't know, for some of you on the Windows machine this might change. So if you don't find editor on the Windows machine, go to environment or something like that, and then go to the, make sure you're on the general tag settings, and find that on the editor. I'm in the configure editor window in the general settings, right? You can also choose a different font. I'm going to choose a different font, and I want to choose it 12 pixels. I can choose a different family, and now that just, okay, that just crashed on me. I don't know what's going on with code blocks. I told you my kind of doesn't like Mac users a little bit. So I don't know, maybe in the installation I kind of messed up. I don't know. But I'm opening it again. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm not going to erase this tutorial. And once you have your, once you choose your selection, just click OK. And then you should have set up, you make sure you have your line numbers like we did right here. And it was selected already, so we didn't have a problem with that. I think right here, and then we chose our fonts in the other side. I'm not gonna mess around with it right now because I don't know what's going on with my computer. All right. So anyways, so now that we have that, we set this up already. This is gonna work fine. For some of you out there, you might have a little window, a pop-up window open, asking you if if CodeBlocks is a safe program to open. Just click yes. They are very safe. And for some of you also, you're gonna have an option of choosing another compiler. If you do, just choose the default compiler, which should be the GNU GCC compiler, and just choose that one. All right, just leave it as default. Leave everything as default. Don't change anything. All right. So that's all we got there for code blocks, and we already kind of configure code blocks to show the line numbers, and I show you the management panel here. I show you the code editor, and I show you the logs and how to set up the different settings here for the view. You can choose a font, you can indent it, whatever you want to do with it. Make sure you have your line numbers there, so we cover that. And there are other things you can do with it. You can play around later on with it, but for some of you out there that know your editors, you just can come here and select the colors and play around with it if you want. I'm just gonna leave it as default because I like it the way it is. So anyways, on the next video, we're gonna write a simple program just to test, just to test code blocks, all right, and to make sure that it's working right. And we're gonna compile a little program. So keep tuned for that. Anyway, if you like this video and it was, it was able to help you out, make sure you favor it, like it, make a comment or something, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching my tutorials like always, and I see you on the next tutorial. Website Boy out.